So we're over here in the I-10 and 410 right now. I'm with JNAR, and we're gonna be doing some long exposures. So he's setting up. So this is what I'm shooting with. It's a Rapid Omega 100 with a Konica Hexanon 58mm 5.6 wide angle lens. I just loaded up Fuji Pro400H into it. I know that I wanted to shoot it at f11. I still need a meter. Today I'm going to be using this app called My Light Meter Pro. I got a reading at 25 seconds at f11. I'm just going to round that up to 30 seconds. And so 30 seconds to the power of 1.3. I'm going to expose for 83 seconds. So I went ahead and I'm exposing it for 83 seconds. I got about the timer going on right here. Cable release is locked. The film advance on this thing is kind of cool. It's like an old cash register. Pump action. Okay, it's super dark where I'm at, but shot number 2. But I'm gonna come down here and get some meter readings.
85 seconds.
85 seconds? What f-stop?
F11.
F11, 85 seconds at Kodak Hectar. So I just shot frame 3. So like right about right here. That means I got 7 more to go. I may not shoot it all here, but I think I'm gonna go and shoot this whole roll with y'all. How about that? So it's the Rapid Omega 100. We got the Konica 58 camera. It's got an external viewfinder, auxiliary viewfinder for the wide angle that I'm shooting with tonight. 4th shot of the roll. I'm going ahead and pretty much doing the same exposure for the last 4 shots. So I'm just gonna let it rip. It's starting to rain, so we're packing up. I squeezed off about 4 shots at the interchange here, so maybe go find something else to shoot here in a second. I'm over here off of Lock Hill Selma and Blanco Road, and now I'm on frame number 5, and this is going to be the subject. It's going to be these dry cleaners right here. So as far as like night photography goes, a lot of the times I use this app. It's called My Light Meter Pro 400H, and I like to shoot it at 200, just a little bit 1 stop over box speed, a meter reading of right there in that corner. 80 seconds at f11. We're gonna have to factor in reciprocity failure. So how I calculate the reciprocity failure is we're gonna go 80 seconds, just 80 to the power of 1.3 gives me an exposure time of about 300 seconds, and so you divided that by 60, so it would be a 5-minute exposure. So I'm gonna go for 5 minutes. You heard that right, 5 minutes exposure at f11. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on a bulb setting. 5 minutes, lock the cable release, and shoot. And so we're gonna let that cook for 5 minutes. 3, 2, 1. There we go, 5-minute exposure. Halfway done. I'm probably gonna call it a night, but I shot half the roll today. I'm gonna recoup, finish it off probably tomorrow, and we'll bring y'all with me. It's the next day. I shot 5 frames last night behind Half Price Books, and I've never noticed this before. I don't know if it's been recently boarded up or what, if this was somebody's home, if it was a business, or what the deal is, but I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this for frame number 6. Fuji Pro400H again, still same roll, shooting at 200 ISO. I'm gonna go for 1 second at f22. let's wait a few minutes to see if a car is gonna pass or not. And looks like we got a car coming down this way. So as soon as it hits about where that tree is, I'm gonna go ahead and start my exposure. Like I said, 1 second at F22. So here comes a Nissan truck. As soon as I get into the frame, I'm gonna fire. Everything's good. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Definitely got that in the frame, so hopefully that came out. Here's a possible shot from frame 7. I really like this blue, and then this graffiti tag right here that says virus. Yeah, let's go ahead and make this frame 7 right here. At I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this at a ½ second at a little bit before F22. So ready, 1, 2, and 3. And that was frame 7. So we have 3 left. I've always wanted to shoot this, I never have, so might as well right now. Frame 8. Kind of like how it's kind of wet and kind of gross looking, so I'll go to that 1 second at F22 just like I did on the frame before. It's getting real windy right here. It might add a little bit of motion to the 1 second exposure. Why not? Let's get it. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. That was frame number 8. We got 2 left. So frame 9, I'm going here at Essex Modern City. Be dark. It's just about to be dark outside. So I'm gonna run over here and shoot that old Fina station before it does completely get dark. And then this old Fina. I kind of have this in the foreground, the palm tree with the old gas station in the background. I'm gonna go down here and meter for the ground. F22 at 1 second. Hello? I'm actually like out and about right now, just like shooting some stuff. But I landed up exposing the gas station back there for 1 second at F22. Last shot. I've always liked this, so the last shot I'm gonna do a double exposure with the neon cross. I'm gonna try to make this quick. I'm not in the best neighborhood. There are some weird people walking around, so I'm gonna just expose for the neon on this one. So I'll do a 1 second F11. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Go. And so I can do a double exposure with this. All I have to do is cock the shutter so it's ready. I didn't advance the film. I'm not gonna lie, I got super sketched out at that neon church. Some guy came, he had his hoodie, he came out the darkness and he was walking towards me. He wouldn't look at me, and I tried to say hi to him, and he kind of like chuckled and just kind of like paused for a second. It was sketchy, so I got out of there as fast as possible. My idea was to put that neon cross somewhere in between the Alamo Dome and the Tower of America. So to see if I could make this work. It's always an experiment. I never know how the double exposures are really going to truly work until I finally develop them and I see them. The clouds are moving really fast, so let's get this to be a pretty long shutter setup. Going with F11 at 120 seconds. So I'll get these cloud movement. Let's get this. Finished up the roll. So now I'm gonna go home and develop, scan, and then I'll be back to show you all 10 images from the roll. So the film has been developed. I'm gonna scan it and go ahead and go through them all with you. So this is the first frame that I shot. My exposure on this was 83 seconds at f11. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this photo. Nothing to really complain about it. It's usually the first shot on the roll that I spend the most time composing. The only thing that kind of bothers me is that I shot this vertically. This is the only shot on the entire roll that I shot vertically. Everything else was horizontally. So if I were to change anything on that, I would have shot this in landscape mode. So for the second shot of the roll is this shot right here. I went ahead and did the same exposure, 83 seconds at f11. Out of the 4 shots I did at the interchange, I think this is my favorite one. Leading lines, perspective, composition. I really dig this. So overall, I'm very pleased with this image. There's nothing I could really say that I would have done this differently. Maybe spent more time composing. So for the third frame of the roll is this one right here. Again, 83 seconds, f11. Overall, again, I'm pleased with this image. I really think this lens, the 58mm Konica lens, is tack sharp. I love it. It's wide. It's the widest medium format lens that I have. That's not a fisheye. There's a lot of things that I like about this image. You can see in the bottom right corner there's a shoe. That's really sharp. It kind of adds to it. I didn't even see that when I shot. So, yeah, pleased with it. So the fourth frame of the roll, 83 seconds at f11 once again, same as the other 3. I would like to say this is probably my least favorite of the 4 that I shot, but for no particular reason. I just like the other ones better. Really, no complaints. I should have moved that piece of styrofoam out of the way, but besides that, yeah, alright. So for the 5th image of the frame is this dry cleaners. I exposed this for 5 minutes at f11. So the only light source that was lighting up the cleaners and the Mexican restaurant was that neon sign. I was afraid that was going to be completely blown out since the exposure was so long. So I'm very surprised that it retained a detail, that it didn't clip the highlights completely in the neon. Overall, I love the colors. I'm very pleased with the way this came out. And I feel that I am pretty proud of myself in the way I metered that and factored in the reciprocity failure. So now for the next day, this is frame 6. I'm in this area all the time, and I've never noticed this. So I think this is kind of cool. It's kind of Addams Family vibes. It was a 1-second exposure at f22. I waited for a truck to drive by and try to get it in the frame. It's very faint. If you look over there near the tree trunk, you can kind of see a red brake light streak going through the frame. So that was very faint, but besides that, it's moody. I like it. It's sharp, it's wide. I like the feel, all in all. Frame 7, half second at f22, give or take. Exposure is decent, focus is good, composition's good. I just, I don't know how I feel about it. It's not too interesting. It's probably just like, I'll just call it a filler frame. How about that? Frame 8, another one here. I'm pretty sure that I shot this at 1 second at f22 as well. And it's another one that that I can't really pick apart too well, but it's another what I call a filler frame. I really like how the clouds do look and the sky does look in the image. It does create a mood, but all in all, it's not the strongest image on the roll or anything that I'm gonna ever really print, I don't think. Frame 9, the abandoned Fina at Essex Modern City. another one. It's moody. It's a gloomy day, so this might be a reason why I'm not too crazy about these images. They're just kind of flat in lighting, kind of gloomy, nothing too punchy, but it does have a mood. I kind of like how I framed the palm tree to the gas station, but again, nothing that I'm too crazy about. So here's frame 10, final shot of the roll, the double exposure that I did. The neon cross was the first image. I did that at 1 second at f11, and then followed by the Alamo Dome, which was f11 as well, but at 120 seconds. All in all, I like how I framed it. I like the positioning with the neon in between the Alamo Dome and the tower. I like the very faint, ghostly front of the church and the spotlight that's on the front of the church, how it's directly hovering above the tower. So I feel that I kind of mapped that one out pretty well and executed it. And probably the most interesting frame of the roll. I've been doing a lot of these double exposures lately with random neons layered over something random, and this one, I like it. I actually might print this one and put it part of the series that I'm printing out and hopefully sell on Facebook, and I'm also starting a website soon. So if you've made it this far, I really appreciate taking your time watching how I shoot a roll of film, you know, my thoughts behind shooting, how I do all of that, and the images that I make. You could follow me on Instagram. It's Money Shot Photo on Instagram. This is where I'm probably going to be posting these photos. If you have any questions about the camera, I know that I didn't really talk too much about the camera itself. You can go ahead and put it in the comments. I wanted this to be more of a real world shooting adventure, more so than camera reviews. So I'm sure you can Google specs and how to operate the camera. I just don't want my videos to be about that. I want them to be about my work. So if you have any questions about anything else, it was the Rapid Omega 100 for the camera, Konica 58.56, and all of this was the same roll of Fuji Pro400H. So I hope to make future videos, maybe one a week. If you have any requests or any questions, want me to make any type of videos, just go ahead and comment, message me, and hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. See you soon.